Hello, everybody. Pleasure to have you all here in this room. Now today, making jewelry is definitely a form of art. And sometimes, if you get really lucky, you can get a glimpse of the process of making and the raw materials. Today, we're going to get a glimpse of the process of making and the raw materials of Pandora's customer experience. I'm Rijntjes. I'm the Customer Success Manager for Pandora for the past around 6 years. I've had the pleasure of working with the team. And today, with me, I have Igor.
Hello, everybody. My name is Igor, as the screen says, and I'm an engineer at Pandora. I'm a part of the technical e-commerce team, where we help our stakeholders to get the most out of customers' digital behavioral data. Some of us know it as tracking. I haven't been at Pandora as long as you, Anna, so I think next time we should shift the chairs, and I can ask you some questions as well. But hey, a few words about Pandora. Pandora is the largest jewelry brand on this planet. We have dozens of online shops. We have thousands of physical shops. We have our own production in Asia, where we produce fine goods loved by Anna and you guys, some of you at least. We have close to 40,000 employees across the globe, so we're fairly big. And I'm very excited to be here today and share some practical strategies with all of you about how my team collaborates with technology and stakeholders at Pandora. But I'll tell you a little secret. The real reason why I'm here is that my wife, she really wanted to see her sister who lives in the UK and didn't want to fly alone with 3 kids under 6. But I only see it as win-win because I was rewarded by being able to be at this fantastic event with all of you guys. So happy to be here, and yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, now you know who we are, so let's look a little bit of who Pandora is as a brand in the form of a video. Well, there was a lot of magical moments happening there. And now we're going to hear a little bit of like how to capture the data to actually drive those magical moments in this session of democratizing data in Pandora's organizational strategies for multi-market success. So to get a little bit started, can you take us a little bit through of how the process over the years has sort of grown and what kind of things have been the key focus areas for you when building this data strategy?
Yeah, thank you. That's a very good starting question, I'd say. You know, data collection and distribution strategy is not something that's set in stone, like any other strategy, and it needs to evolve together with your organization and the technological advancements around. So let me start answering this question by mentioning how our team has evolved during the last couple of years. Pandora used to outsource most of the work that my team does today. And approximately 4 years ago, Pandora decided that it wants to internalize our team. So they first hired a product owner who started to shape the vision and the strategy for our products, together with the strategy for the team itself. And then team started to slowly expand by first hiring a data strategist and a data analyst who also acted as the BA. And the reason for these people was to primarily establish and foster trusted relationships with the stakeholders, right? And promote and brand our products and help them solve business problems using our data. Then we have onboarded few hybrid software engineers to build and maintain user-facing applications, but also underlying technologies. So we started as a smaller team managing Tealium IQ, an event stream, and Adobe Analytics, but since have evolved into the e-commerce team following growing demand from the company. Today, we have 14 people in the team. We have primarily expanded on the technical side. We have many more software engineers in the team this day. We also have data engineers who joined our team together with a Scrum Master, data visualization specialists, so we do have a solid setup. And besides business as usual, today we support Pandora's strategic programs by providing our data throughout different channels and platforms to the rest of the company, those being Tealium, Adobe Analytics, Databricks, Synapse, Power BI, maybe something else. And we also streamline our data to the rest of the company using Apache Kafka, as well as we take an active role defining tech strategy for certain domains in the company. So now speaking about data strategy, key focus areas for my team as of today. When it comes to data collection focus areas, I would probably highlight the following points. So data sources, they must have, well, a clear source of truth together with a clearly defined owner of the data. Then we must be able to collect data from different sources in a centralized and standardized manner, whatever that is. Then we must have data contracts in place, we must have data governance in place, and have that as automated as possible. And ideally, we would also like to have end-to-end automated tests put on top of our solutions together with live monitoring platforms. So we want to delegate that job to systems rather than relying on humans and manual processes when it comes to data quality and monitoring. Now speaking about data distribution focus areas, I would probably split it into two tracks. One is sending data outside of your company to third-party tools, and another track is sending data inside of your own company, distributing it there. So when it comes to sending data to third-party platforms, here, personally to me, the main thing is to, again, do it through a centralized, consistent, standardized manner, through a single platform that has all these connectors out of the box. Because in our case, we send data to approximately 40 different vendor systems, and if we have to maintain these connections ourselves, that will be a nightmare. So this is where Tealium gives a lot to all of us by providing all of these connections out of the box, maintaining everything for you, so you can focus on the actual implementation. Speaking about distributing data inside of the company, I would highlight that the data must flow real-time, have a golden standard for distributing data in your own organization. In our case, the standard is Apache Kafka. And last but not least, embrace decoupled system integrations. And decoupled system integrations are about connecting systems and services in a way where they can work sort of independently from each other, meaning that if there is an update or a problem in one part, it would not necessarily affect the others, making your entire setup more flexible, reliable, and scalable. So just to sum it up, I would like to repeat what I said in the beginning, that data strategy is not set and forget. It needs to evolve together with your organization and technologies around. So keep an eye and revisit your strategies once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a great summary of like the evolution that you have had to do as an organization so far, and still continuing doing that. Now for that, technology does one part. The other part would be probably the people. So what kind of skills are required to work in Team Igor?
Well, it is essential for all our team members to be able to balance both hard and soft skills. Because speaking about soft skills, our team is situated in the middle of a complex stakeholder landscape where we need to connect the dots between e-commerce, web development, marketing, personalization, stakeholders. And then we also have hundreds of users across the globe using our data throughout different systems. So to ensure alignment across, all of us need to contribute with our soft skills in addition to our areas of expertise. No one person can do it alone, so it's not uncommon for our technical experts to facilitate meetings, work with stakeholders, help with quarterly planning, translate business requirements to actionable objectives, help with the backlog, and so on. So we really need to work as a team here. Speaking about hard skills, we have people specializing in, do I have enough fingers? Data strategy, web and software development, data engineering, data visualization, data and web analytics, and finally, we have few people who simply understand marketing, MarTech, e-commerce, and data ecosystems very well that help us drive and facilitate cross-functional initiatives. So honestly, it took us a while to set up such a strong and diverse team, and we must nurture it well. Feedback is the center of everything we do. So both the team and our leadership pays close attention to the outcomes of our retrospective meetings and employee surveys, because it constantly helps us improve and grow as a team. On top of it, due to the very broad scope of our team, it is very easy for our team members to actually explore new areas and also learn new skills without leaving the team. So this is one of our ways to keep talents inside and actually give them opportunities to grow without letting them go and have fun with somebody else, right?
Yeah, I think that kind of highlights of the loyalty of people within Pandora as well as then in the customer base. And if everybody's working towards the same goal, then it's also easier to put the right skills to the areas where they actually need it. Now you have a lot of teams, global organization. So how do you handle requests from, let's say, your regional markets? And if there's any processes that you could sort of give us an insight for that maybe others could also benchmark?
Oh, I can definitely give some insights. And first of all technical teams, maybe almost all technical teams at Pandora follow agile ways of working. So we break a year into quarters, and then we break each quarter into 2 weeks sprints, usually ending up having between 6 to 8 sprints per quarter. Then all the teams follow agile ceremonies like sprint planning, sprint refinement, sprint demo/review, where we share our progress and achievements with our stakeholders. And finally, we round out the sprint with a sprint retrospective meeting, where we discuss what went well during the sprint, what maybe went not so well, and then we create an action plan to improve on things if it's necessary. So I would say that the way we do agile is pretty standard at Pandora. Then you have asked how we gather and prioritize demand. So let me share how we have optimized our demand first. Sorry, our request pipeline. We, besides other stakeholders, we used to support e-commerce stakeholders and paid media stakeholders. And at Pandora, both of them are quite demanding. So our team's focus was scattered, and we couldn't really properly satisfy any of them. We would also accept direct requests from global teams, and then we would accept direct requests from local teams. So let's call it a decentralized request pipeline, or some of you might refer to it as a love triangle, where we were just, getting bombarded with stuff from all over the place, and it was eventually became hard to prioritize, right? So it was difficult to do that, but also some requests from local markets were not in sync with global teams' vision and direction. So eventually, we came up with a so-called centralized request pipeline, where we no longer where we no longer accept direct requests from local markets. Now all these requests are streamlined through our global teams, where they get filtered and prioritized before they're shared with us. And in addition, we have also created a separate paid media technical team that is there to now just support paid media stakeholders. Now let's talk a little bit more in detail about how we actually prioritize demand. So before each quarter, we gather demand from all our stakeholders. And then together with them, we prioritize this in the following order. First, everything that supports Pandora's strategic programs must be taken in and has the highest priority. Then we are looking at all other bigger requests in the pipeline and prioritize those using ICE scoring model, which stands for impact, confidence, and ease. So this model helps us define business impact and ease of implementation of the requests. And finally, we allocate some time for minor enhancements, but also we create support buckets or ad hoc buckets for all stakeholders who need it. So that's before queue planning session. Then, when queue planning session comes, our entire team sits down, takes that list of priority and breaks it down into tasks and milestones. And we create a roadmap that's based on our sprints and team's capacity. And along, we also list down all the associated risks and dependencies. And finally, we communicate that plan to the rest of the product line and to our stakeholders. And then certain follow-up meetings might arrive to help us mitigate risks and dependencies, but also sometimes we do slight adjustments to the plan. So this whole process ensures that our efforts are spent on the most impactful initiatives, while at the same time, it helps us improve and foster relationships and communication with our stakeholders.
I think that sounds like a classic example of like how well planned is half done. In your case, you managed to have so many different markets, so many different stakeholders, and you need to look for the individual needs, prioritize them, and play it back to the business so that everybody is on the same roadmap. And that's really gold. So how does being present in so many different markets with different legislations, different kind of demands, how does that influence the whole sort of data strategy that you have taken?
Yes, being the global company, Pandora needs to manage a vast amount of customer data across different regions, ensuring seamless integration, compliance, consistency, personalization, and so on. So let me give you a few examples. For our e-commerce websites, a unified, standardized, and consistent tech setup is key. So all of our regions, all of our markets use exact same website framework, with the only difference being content on top of it. So our content management system, our web tracking, our MarTech stack are centralized, together with the unified global Tealium configuration that helps us efficiently collect and orchestrate web behavioral data. But we still have few markets that are not on our global tech stack, which makes data collection and distribution fragmented. But the good thing is that as we speak, we're actually working on a migration plan, and then our remaining markets will soon join our global gang. Another example, now speaking more about the entire company's data dynamics, if I can call it this way. So Pandora requires a robust infrastructure to manage large-scale, real-time data streaming, standardization, and integration. So here is where Apache Kafka plays a crucial role in our company. We have a dedicated team that manages our global Kafka infrastructure with pre-built templates for both data producers, data consumers, drastically simplifying onboarding process. On top of that, this fantastic team, I'm a big fan of them. They have also built services for sensitive data tokenization, detokenization, event deduplication, data governance, schemas on top, and they've even put a management platform on top of this all, where you can see what data is available in the company, who is consuming what, and it's all visible real time. That's fantastic. So this whole infrastructure allows Pandora to streamline data across different systems, ensuring consistency, flexibility, and scalability. Now speaking about non-technical things like strategy, processes, and operating models, our approach is similar, consistency. So we aim to strike a balance between maintaining a controlled environment where globally approved setups and initiatives are implemented across the globe, but at the same time, we give flexibility to markets to adjust solutions a little bit to better address their unique market needs. In data and analytics, our product line, we aim for an operating model where 80% of the processes are standardized globally to better align with business goals, and then 20% allow for flexibility. But yet, some markets like China are special because we need to comply and adjust to certain regulations there. So Pandora is building a globally unified, but yet locally adaptable ecosystem.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, definitely like that kind of little flexibility that you have, but with a good control on the sort of data foundation and the processes seems to be a very agile way of working going forward. Now, what does the future for Pandora hold? Is there any kind of secrets you can give out to us of how things are looking in the year or the years after?
Yeah, you know, if you have asked me this question a couple of weeks ago, I would have said that our biggest initiative was building cross-channel content personalization at scale. Something like this, which is a pretty good concept, to be honest. But the thing is that this initiative ran or was driven by our personalization program without considering the broader needs of the company. So, as we went through ideation and conceptualization phases, we have also realized that key data prerequisites were missing, together with a well-defined overarching strategy. So while we were actually ready to start proof of concept, we decided to take a step back to improve our data foundation, but also to align with all relevant stakeholders, ensuring long-term success of the program, which meant that we had to stop and reboot our personalization space, collapsing it into strategic initiative called customer data, which has multiple subtracks, with the main focus now being on strengthening our data foundation, but also on leveraging our customers' data more efficiently. So let me give you a few examples of the initiatives that we will be driving. First, we would like to better structure our headless content management system and content to better fit personalization needs. We need to make it more modular and more flexible, but we also need to give more context to the content. So we're working on defining tagging strategy together with figuring out how do we enable content taxonomy in our content management system. Then we will also build content performance actionable reporting powered by AI. This is where Tealium plays a crucial role because it's streaming both content performance from digital channels together with user web behavioral data from digital channels that then will be stitched together to enable us do prescriptive content analytics. On top of it, Tealium is critical to our success with customer data capture and streaming to internal platforms, and Tealium helps us power AI with meaningful data. So by taking a step back to improve our data foundation, put customers at the core, and align all stakeholders, we set the stage for a more scalable and impactful personalization strategy. Maybe it doesn't sound so sexy, right? But it will enable us to collect all the benefits from running this initiative. And putting customers and customer data as a priority also better fits our long-term data and technology strategy, considering all relevant stakeholders.
Yeah, like Jeff was quoting also very smartly about the future is there, but it's just not evenly distributed. This is exactly what we're talking about. You don't make yourself into a silo of respecting only one team's desires, but like make sure that the future is set up for all of the teams to benefit, because in the end, the customer experience really benefits from having that kind of feeling that the brand knows you, you guys know me well, and I want everybody else to have that same experience as well. So thank you so much for taking us through this journey. And Igor will be here for the dinner as well and for the party. And at any time when you have time to catch up with him, I think he has a lot of really good stories to share. And I'm so honored to be working with you as a brand, and so honored on behalf of Tealium to be the sort of fuel that helps you to drive these great initiatives. Thank you so much, Igor.
Thank you very much.